Hello, everybody. I am Sandra Pelly, the Sandini. I'm the Inner Dragon Emissary, as well as a Dragon Ally and Galactic Shaman. Very, very powerful, magical, all about woo summit occurring. Yesterday was just rolling with it and flowing with it, and it was so beautiful how everybody tied into everybody else's, and it was really, really magical. In fact, to the point where when I did my conversation, I actually got to literally display exactly how somebody can be in their gift and how somebody can be in their skill. It was really interesting how Source provided that very, very nicely for the group. I um, so the YouTube videos from yesterday are already up on YouTube. So it's Sandra Pelli does Sandini. I put the takeaways under there. I wanted to talk to you guys about the hashtag takeaway. Please write hashtag takeaways down towards the end of each of the person's call. I will be reminding you as well. And in essence, what's happening there, first of all, you're really anchoring in something that you've heard during the conversation. And I think that's the most important part of that. And secondly, I'd love to offer you a gift from the Isle of Jakara, my beautiful dragon island. And that is your name is being put into the giveaway, the raffle for the opportunity for a 1 year Medicine of the Moons, which is a monthly gathering on Tuesdays that is about the waning moon versus the full moon. The full moon, everybody does the full moon. So I thought I'd kind of shift gears and do something a little bit different, as is my normal thing. The waning moon is all about surrender. So it's for those who really have no idea how to let go, no idea how to surrender, or are willing to let go or surrender something. It's literally for everybody who's kind of interested in moving in that direction of taking those next steps on their journeys. And it's a shamanic journey as well. Okay. So it's all about the moon cycles and um, connecting with our animal guides and things like that. That is also available for purchase after the fact, and that email will come out after the summit. I'm not going to deep dive into that. So the important thing to know is hashtag takeaways. After each of the guest speakers, I will remind you, and it's to anchor that in most importantly, okay? What you've heard. Yesterday was magical. We had a number of beautiful speakers, myself included. We had bear with me here a minute. We had Christine D'Souza, who spoke about from imposter to gifted, how being exactly who you are is the most effortless approach to making a difference. We had Al Denez. He spoke about activate your primal soul firepower, reclaim your inner strength. I spoke about what is the dominant inner dragon, and then we've wound up with the beautiful Kira Lani, and she spoke about alchemizing grief into purpose. We have our beautiful guest speakers, a number of them already in the house. Yay! Loving the energy of that. And I wanted to share what happened yesterday is I went for a walk around my block, and during that walk, I found two feathers, and that's quite the norm for me to find multiple feathers. Like if you guys actually looked around this room, it's pretty amazing. However, the size of these feathers and the color of these feathers is what was so unique. A little black one and a little white one, and I just really felt very, very connected because honestly, it is in the small things that big changes happen. And to have two small little feathers really go, hey, yo, I'm here at me on my walk was pretty amazing. Today I'm walking my house, do my hallway because of the smoke outside, and my attention was drawn to three items which I wanted to share with you. One is this beautiful little black obsidian heart that I just really felt connected to today. And it drew its attention. And literally beside it, following up in that black and whitish type of theme, were my two beautiful eggs. And just really feeling again the energy of, not everything is necessarily black and white. In fact, this isn't actually white. It's got some beautiful gold and yellow and brown and ochre and uh, khaki colors to it. So it's just really recognizing the nuances of everything and really stepping into the energy of being in awareness and recognizing that there's other things happening as the bigger picture is happening as well. And it's those small, simple steps. So I invite you now to close your eyes and take a breath. We're continuing in this beautiful circle that was opened yesterday. We are resaging all those who have participated, are participating, and will participate. Calling in our compassionate spirit guides, the way showers, any beautiful guides who are here for the highest good, for the most benevolent reasons, and the greatest good of all. And it may not have been implied yesterday, however, I'd like to put it to voice today, calling in the element and elementals and the directions of the east and wind, south and fire, west and water, earth and north, as well as the ethers and spirit, and everything within and without. Gathering in this beautiful sacred space with a willingness of the mind, body, and soul and all aspects of self to be willing to receive and share, accept, trust, and believe. And so it is. Thank you. Now we have a few more moments before we have our beautiful guest speaker, Callie, begin. And so I'd like to open the floor and ask those who attended yesterday, what is something that really struck home for you from yesterday's call? Alan?
I think one thing that really bears repeating is just when Christina was talking about the sacred gifts, that often we don't recognize them because they come so easily to us, that we discount the value that we have to offer the world. And that one of the easier ways to recognize the gift is in the compliments that we get from other people, and especially when they're complimenting us on something that we take for granted.
Thank you. Thank you so much for driving that home, bringing that home in the big bus. I appreciate that. How about yourself, Sonia? What's something that you really felt very powerful about yesterday?
In the last speaker, there was that moment where she had us move, like, I don't remember her exact wording of it, but our heart focused in with the mind and within the body and the different areas, speaking together to each other. And I had this experience of them all saying the same thing or very similar enough to be the same thing. Like it was like just a heightened awareness of being totally congruent and aligned. And they were all aligned with peace. And it was just this huge gift because it just totally made everything in my life make so much sense. Like why everything felt inauthentic to me and why I felt out of integrity whenever I didn't feel aligned with peace. And because at the end of the day, not only do I believe that's who I am, without this conditioning of culture and experiences and whatnot, but I believe that's who we all are. You look at a newborn and they're born and they're a healthy newborn, they're just totally peace. And that's, I think, riffing off of what Alan was saying, part of my talent that I wasn't really fully conscious of is that's what I'm always seeing in people. Oh, this is what's taking them from their peace. This is what is not serving them because it's not bringing them to that centered sense of peace. And, my own philosophy is create from peace, get to peace first, then create. And, I think a lot of the stress we have in our life comes from not creating from peace and trying to make it go into peace is where we get controlling and whatnot.
Yeah, the proverbial square into the round peg, right?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
whole day was beautiful. The whole day, like I didn't know what to expect except whoa, right? Okay, fun. But the whole day, the way you laid out every speaker and the order, it was just a beautiful unfolding. So kudos to you and your speakers. And it was
Thank you.
a deep blessing to be here and a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The speaker she's speaking of is Kira Lonnie, and she does this beautiful process in that I would highly recommend you go watch the YouTube video. She speaks about the mind, the heart, and then the body mind. And the body mind is in your sacral chakra area. And really giving yourself the room to recognize you don't have to necessarily be in your mind and your head. And that was a beautiful thing to witness. And thank you for, again, to what you've said about all of that, Sonia. Very, very powerful. Yeah. I'm going to put a couple more people on the spot that were here yesterday. Hopefully they're gracious enough to, yeah, Kitty's your one. Do you have anything you'd like to share about what your experience was yesterday?
How did I know? Just turn my camera on. Um, I only could attend the last. I have a mother-in-law who's been in the hospital, and it's been a really interesting journey over these last couple of months. I found that to be the idea of alchemizing any of our emotions. We talk about the magnification, we talk about, and today I'm going to actually be talking about in the hero, our journey, how often we use transactional words as accepted kinds of energy. And so the idea that in this alchemy, because we do that, in that even our, so she asked at the end, what did we feel? And I said fear moving to wonderment, because I could still feel the fear, but the wonderment of what is this bringing forth? What is this? That idea to alchemize all of the energies. Sandra knows the book that we both did together. I'm actually doing her second book right now, reading it. Talks about that our emotions only need 90 seconds. And so to be able to alchemize that 90 seconds and connect other patterns to it is a phenomenal thought I often now stop, just feel this, see where it is in your body, do whatever you can do to try to not bring back by Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor. I've always thought about alchemizing those things you want to magnify, but to literally alchemize them into what will they lead you to was an interesting, very interesting. It's not that I hadn't thought of it before, but we literally practiced it. So that was pretty cool to take away yesterday. You're muted. You're muted.
Thank you, Kitty. Emily, do you feel comfortable speaking about something that maybe you felt was quite powerful for yourself from the guest speakers yesterday? Do you have the ability to speak today?
Hello. Yes. Well, I mean, even just with your own segment that you had yesterday, you answered my question, and working with, the inner dragon and being able to feel that energy, even just in the breath, was really interesting and something that I think I'm going to have to continue to focus on, especially in, moments where maybe I'm not as confident and kind of need to bring that inner dragon through. Yeah, that was definitely a helpful exercise you kind of took me through yesterday.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your share. So you guys all have kind of a little inkling of just how magical yesterday was with the 4 guest speakers. There's so much more that each of those guest speakers have to offer. So do take a look again at the guest speaker page. sandrapelli.com/summit hyphen guest hyphen speaker. You'll find all the information there and their offerings as well.